Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble. Huh. Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals! Oh, yes, I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe! What is it? You've got a lot of nerve, pal. Making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it all off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. I take it Lana's having you run errands again? Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here. She asked me to give this to you if there was a break in today's trial. Evidence law? Edgeworth was talking about this just the other day. You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. You could at least study some evidence law, really. The chief prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message. A message? She said, if you're planning to take him on, you're going to need this book. Him? Guess I'll need to give this book a thorough read. Okay, so a new piece of evidence in the 11th hour. Evidence law from Miss Skye explains the 2 rules of evidence law. Okay, before we go any further with this, what does this say? Rules for submitting evidence. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. So, I mean, we saw both of those on earlier court days. Well, I guess... Well, I mean, she said if we're going to take him on, which I guess this will be what we need if we're going to try to link Gant to various things. So that's just going to be what we're going to need coming up, I guess. Doesn't look like that book will do you any good now, though. All that's left now is the chief prosecutor's sentence. That's where you're wrong, detective. Huh? Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat? Despite all these allegations being thrown at me. Mr. Edgeworth, the real trial today hasn't begun yet. What? What else is there left to do? Your credibility has been all but ruined with this forged evidence you're unaware of. Emma Skye found out she's unwittingly caused a man's death. And now you're telling me you want to do more? You've got to be kidding me, pal! You're missing the point, detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. Ugh. She merely stuck a knife into his dead body. That means the real killer is still out there. What? And we're going to expose him. No matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. The Inquiry Committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions. Thank you for the news, Your Honor. Yes, well, normally this is where the prosecution calls forth a witness, but, This isn't easy to say. You see, there is some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have, struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witness. I didn't say that! It's just, you see, everyone's been talking and... Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution. A solution? That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses. What? But there's no precedent for what you're proposing! Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? Unbelievable. Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well. The defense accepts the prosecution's proposal. Then it's settled. The defense may now call forth the next witness. Mr. Wright. You do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over. The defense calls... Time's finally come to bring out the real murderer. Okay, and thankfully all of my tries have reset. So let's bring out who we think actually is responsible for everything. Damon Gant! The defense calls Damon Gant to the stand. Damon Gant? What does he have to do with anything? As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it. Huh. As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor? True. All right. Bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand. Witness, please state your name and occupation. What is this? Some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch. Your name and occupation, sir. Worthy, are you sure you want to do this? Your name and occupation! So, you want to play hardball, eh? Please, Mr. Gant. Fine. My name is Damon Gant. I'm the acting chief of police. Now then, Chief Gant, the court requests to hear your testimony. Oh, righto! What's with the grim face? First, let's clear up this SL9 incident. Oh, you mean that time when Lana's sister murdered that prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already. There are still some things unaccounted for. Oh, like what? Like the role you played in all of this. Son, either you're very brave, or very foolish. You are aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Sure. Take my testimony, for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to. What? Is that true? I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify. Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks. Don't worry. I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you. Very well. The witness may now begin his testimony. Alright, it's time to hear what Gant has to say. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently, she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Is that when Dark was arrested? Him? No, he was lying on the floor unconscious. When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Dark bumped his head. I see. Everything seems pretty clear-cut. If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, then I'd better hit him hard and fast. Okay, I don't see anything immediately apparent with this. Well, better just start pressing. As I recall, a ceremony was held at the police department that day. Yes, that's right. I guess you could say I'm a workaholic. After winning his award, Neil was all fired up too. And that's probably what spooked Dark and made him run away like that. Was the defendant, Lana Skye, also present in the room? I don't quite remember. At the very least, she wasn't there when Dark ran for it. Okay, so that doesn't seem to change anything. So the two of you ran immediately after him, right? That's right, but Dark made it to the elevator first. So Neil and I split up. He went upstairs, and I went downstairs. I guess you could say he got lucky. What's this about a power outage? Oh, that. The elevator stopped all of a sudden, and I got the shock of my life. Well, probably not as shocked as Neil was when that knife went through his heart, though. That's not funny. Okay. Still not really getting anything too concrete. Could you tell us what you saw? It was a shocking sight. Neil and that serial killer were lying in a heap on the floor, all tangled together. Dark was also lying collapsed on the floor. Yes, apparently he hit his head and was knocked out. Next to them were those two poor girls, Lana and Emma. Lana was cradling Emma in her arms. Looking back at it now, she must have already known what her sister had done. Apparently she'd already arranged the crime scene. How can you know that? Because of the victim's body. It had already been moved. So that means you found the body near Lana's desk? That's right. I think you said earlier it was my suit of armor that really stabbed the prosecutor. Yes. Anyway. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. So you're saying that the forgery had already taken place by the time you arrived at your office? That's exactly what I'm saying. I can understand how Lana must have felt, but moving a body and hiding evidence are inexcusable, no matter what the consequences. Is that how it really went down? Staring at the witness won't do you any good, Mr. Wright. If you're going to stare at anything, you'd be better off staring at the court record. Worthy. Always the smooth talker. But which piece of evidence ties Gant to the forgery? Lana did admit to forging evidence, but that can't be the whole truth. Somehow I've got to link Gant to the incident. Okay. Apparently she'd already arranged the crime scene. I had nothing to do with the forgery. So what do we have that could prove otherwise? I mean, I haven't had any use of this piece of cloth. I mean, we have this. It has Emma's print. But why was it in Gant's safe? The same thing here. So we have the vase here. 2 years ago. Only the fragment found in Gant's office still has lines remaining. And it spelled out Emma. Alright, well, before I do anything, I should probably make a quick save. Okay, so I need to find something that connects Gant to the crime scene at SL9. I'm thinking maybe... I mean, there's one of these two things. What about the autopsy report? Let's see. Between single stab wound, heart and lung, died under 10 minutes. Weapon found in wound was missing tip. And I don't actually have the missing tip, I just have the knife. And none of these other things actually relate to SL9. Okay. So we've got the jar, possibly the evidence list, because that was also just kind of hidden. Rearrange the crime scene. I mean, I don't think that... already been moved. See, the weird thing was when I was doing, like, all of the... like, the blood, none of it was on Gant's side. It was only on Lana's side. I'm wondering... It's a weird thought, but I'm wondering if maybe somehow the office was reversed somehow? Like, Gant's actual desk was over on where Lana's side is? Because, yeah, that's what's striking me as really odd, is that there is no blood over on Gant's side. Yet we know for a fact that Neil died on that suit of armor. So if Neil died on that suit of armor, realistically, we should have found blood over there. Like, the pool of blood should have been right around the base of that statue, or the suit of armor. But it wasn't. Of course, I don't have anything here that kind of points to it. I don't have a map of the crime scene or anything like that. I gotta try something, though. Evidence for something, but what? Because this has Emma's print. And then there's also the jar. Where Emma is written on the... Well, hold on. Nothing to do with the forgery. But, I mean, I was very confident that the jar is forged. Because everything was... The bloodlines all pieced together through various pieces. You couldn't really have that and have it be so neat if the jar was shattered. And the fact that there was also a line piece hidden in Gant's safe. Well, I made a quick save. If I need to redo something, I can. I'm gonna say it's the jar. Objection! You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery. But I'm afraid that is a claim you cannot back up. Explain yourself. Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this jar, for example. That's that blue badger you showed us earlier. A piece of this jar was discovered in your safe. Not only that, but the evidence list I presented earlier... Oh, so it would have been any of these pieces of evidence. Oh, okay, that would have been a lot easier. Was actually found inside your desk. It was found where? You see, Chief Gant, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part in the illegal investigation. Chief Gant! What's the meaning of this? Here's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy. So you admit to it then, that you were involved in the forgery. Who? Me? Or do you mean you? Me? Why would I have anything to do with that? Well, you were the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence. Ugh. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can do so too. Isn't that right, Righto? However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation. Worthy, my boy. Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment. What? If Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying to work. Yes, well, in light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office and their relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene. My. Kids these days no longer know how to put two and two together.